Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game. Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day, and I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Everything that you need to know about game day at Autzen Stadium. The Ducks are closing in on the opener against Montana State as fall camp winds down. Today we dive into some of the logistics around the Autzen complex on an Oregon football game day. A little bit of a different footprint with construction to the new indoor practice facility. Leo Harris Parkway is quite literally in a different place. We'll update you on traffic flow. We'll update you on what's going to happen inside Autzen Stadium once the ball is kicked off. Also, ticket details and info. Everything you need to know about a game day at Autzen Stadium. That's the plan on the show today. GoDucks.com GoDucks.com/gameday. GoDucks.com/gameday will be your hub for all things Autzen Stadium, Oregon football operations, questions, anything. GoDucks.com/gameday. On today's show, we will have the lively and energetic Jason Harris of the Oregon Ticket Team, Associate AD for Ticket Revenue with us. Also, Brooke Robinson, Assistant Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Experience, and Ben Clark, Assistant Athletics Director for Event Operations. The true experts in planning everything that goes into a game day at Autzen Stadium. That's today's show. Tomorrow, Jerry and Jorgie will join us for a review of fall camp. We'll make our first Oregon football and Big Ten picks of the season. And John Sargent will be with us talking about some concessions, some $5 duck deals at Autzen Stadium. We've got a lot to unpack the next 2 days here on Duck Insider. Again, GoDucks.com/gameday, your hub for all things Oregon football, game day, any needs that you have. Let's begin today. Ben Clark, Assistant Athletics Director for Event Operations, the logistics around Autzen Stadium. I have to tell everybody inside the broadcast, I warned our guest. Ben Clark is here,
Hello.
Assistant Athletics Director for Event Operations. I warned Ben about the 2-minute life story because we have a lot of information to cover. Everything you need to know about game day at Autzen. We begin with the 2-minute life story of Ben Clark. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Pressure is on, team. Wow. So not a lot of exciting things. I know you're looking for a lot of humor. You're looking for some excitement. You're looking for a lot of great things. I've lived a pretty dull life. But, I can give you a little bit of background, right?
Please.
That's what you're looking for.
Yes.
So I'm an Eastern Washington kid. I was born and raised in Spokane, Washington. I've got a lot of family back there, siblings, parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, that sort of thing. I went to Washington State. I know. Started out in sport.
Cougs and Ducks
Cougs
get
and Ducks get along. We get along, right?
Yeah.
Sport management major, was a great JV high school athlete.
Nice.
But I wanted to do more. And if you're not getting the call on varsity in high school, it's time to maybe try other avenues. So sports business, I thought, let's get into that.
Good pivot by you.
Yeah. Washington State has a great sport management program.
Yeah.
And part of their program was a 400-hour internship to go elsewhere,
Cool.
right? And being the naive 20-year-old or whatever I was, emailing athletic directors of the old Pac-10 at the time.
Let's go.
Bill Moose.
Yes.
Debbie Nankville, Bill's assistant at the time, gets my resume, sends it off to Ron Perkins, who's now retired, but was the former facility manager at Hayward Field. Well, I'm a former distance guy.
Okay.
I used to run a nice mid-pace, 2-mile in high school.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh my gosh, I got to go to the Carnegie Hall of Track and Field. Are you kidding me?
Sure.
I'm a Nike guy. I've always worn the swoosh. So I had an affinity for Oregon, was able to come down here, work for free as kind of a groundskeeper.
Cool.
You know, striping the field, shaking implements at track meets.
Dude, that had to be the dream.
It was wild.
Man, though, but like for 20-year-old you, what a cool thing.
Hayward Field, it was, iconic. It's just they were starting Powell Plaza at the time, getting ready to build that. Knew I wanted to do the college athletic thing, and I thought I better go on and get my master's degree. And so went to grad school at Florida, actually Florida State, and I wanted to go see a different part of the country, go to a different area and experience in that, and had a really good experience, was able to get a graduate assistantship within their athletic department, stayed in touch with some of the folks here in events and facilities, and I knew Vicky Strand at the time had an intern, a paid internship. And so I graduated with my master's degree, and my parents are like, what? You're going to work as a paid intern and you have your master's degree? I'm like, yeah, that's the business.
That's business.
So came back to Oregon, right, and was here for about a year and a half, and then was able to get a full-time position and did that for 3 years as kind of the assistant event manager. And then was kind of getting an itch. And, I'm behind Vicky, who I'm thinking to myself, she's a lifer.
Yeah.
So I end up going back to my alma mater. I had an opportunity to go back to Washington State.
Cool.
Was there for 12 years, had a great experience, and then Mark Ruckworth called me 3.5 years ago. Hey, Vicky's leaving. No, she's not. I called Vicky, what's going on? And, thought about it, had some time. And it's all about timing, right? Yeah. And it just came when I think I was itching for more. I missed the Oregon passion of just the fans. Cool. and just the bigger venue, the chance to host a few more championship events. Washington State hosts championship events, but not at the regular that Oregon does, right? And I miss that. So I was fortunate. I was very fortunate to go through the process and be back here. And now it's coming up on my 4th football season. Got hired in August of 22.
There you go.
Glad to be back. Got a couple kiddos, a couple girls, and my wife. Met my wife here in Eugene, the first stint go around.
Well done.
Here we go.
4 minutes on the nose.
Oh, doubled it.
Doubled it. Hey, so here's what I always say to everyone, though, Ben. When I ask, an 18-year-old, they're like, 2 minutes. They're usually at like a minute 20, and they're like, man, how do I do that? But then for you, right, a little more experience in your life.
Good point.
These days. So a lot to unpack. I did not know that that's how you started, though, was at Hayward Field like that. I did not know that. Yeah. That is a fun origin story for you.
Well, and it was fun and unique, right? Like I graduated from Washington State in the fall of 2004, and I was here at Hayward Field working track meets during it.
Right.
And then I graduated from Florida State in August of 2005, and I was here doing my internship at Oregon. So I was at Oregon during both graduations.
Wow. How about
2 different universities.
How about that?
Isn't that wild?
You were always destined to be here then.
Right.
That's how it was going to work out. All right. Well, this is great. So as everyone can imagine, the person that's in charge of event operations, well, for a football game day with 60,000 people, there are a lot of operations for that event. Let's maybe start with, I think, what is the obvious, Ben. There's certainly some construction going on around the Autzen complex. A little different footprint. Take fans inside that. What's going to happen here coming up on game day?
Yeah, it's exciting. As part of the new Mode 2.0, we've got a brand new Leo Harris Parkway West. So I think it's going to be a little bit more pedestrian friendly. The sidewalks are really nice and wide. The lighting is greatly enhanced, so a lot less light towers out there.
Nice.
So for those night games, it'll look a lot brighter.
You're telling me I'm not going to hear that hum of the generators when I walk by anymore?
There'll be a few less, yes,
That's
especially
nice.
out on that new road.
Sweet.
So it looks beautiful, and some new trees, and the Mashofsky lot just opened up, and so that's back online with a few more parking spaces. So that's exciting. The depth of those parking stalls, I think, are 2 feet longer,
nice.
Just for bigger vehicles and that sort of thing. So our donors,
good for tailgating.
Donors will be able to benefit from that.
Yep.
But yeah, with the new roadway, we're just kind of finalizing, hopefully, our new kind of park and ride plan, just knowing that the old Science Center parking lot is no longer.
Right.
We've got a new Science Center parking lot, which is closer to south gate of Autzen Stadium. So that's kind of nice. And that the buses will be some of the buses there will be staged a little bit closer. So, but different lot, different configuration. We're just asking everyone to kind of be patient with the park and ride process because it is new. We will have some additional staffing on the ground, some additional flaggers, some additional traffic control, specifically kind of at that Leo Harris Parkway West, and then as you get towards the new Science Center and where the buses will be queuing. We hope to have a map online tomorrow, if not tomorrow by the end of the week, but it's, the plans are literally just getting finalized.
GoDucks.com/gameday, by the way. New page has been updated on GoDucks.com. We'll have all the information that we're talking about today. GoDucks.com/gameday. I mean, you mentioned the parking and just the traffic flow. Is there any change that fans need to know about with traffic flow? And I should say, too, a reminder, the bus lane is open for cars on game day.
Yes, please do.
Please use those bus lanes that are on MLK. But anything else with like traffic flow, Ben, just to expect?
I would say traffic flow is a challenge. It's just unique in that we have two roads that lead into a venue that seats close to 60,000 fans, right? And so with that, we just need to be patient. And I always tell people, please plan ahead. Please, please, please try to leave a little bit earlier. Sometimes there's unfortunate accidents. ODOT does a good job on I-5 of letting us know if that stuff is happening. And we're working with our campus partners. We have several meetings with Springfield Public Works, Eugene Public Works. We've done our best to try to expedite flow out. But we all know if it is a close game and the fans do stick around, it's going to be a challenge. So I just ask that everyone please be patient. We're doing our best, and we'll continue to work with the city to hopefully add some enhancements to that.
Hey, and maybe if you're like, I don't really want to sit in traffic lights for a while, maybe just enjoy Autzen Stadium for a little bit, right?
Yeah,
on the field.
We do allow fans down to the field about 5 to 6 minutes post game. We want to get the visiting team off the field, get the game officials in the locker room. But that is a unique kind of fun tradition here, right? To be able to allow the fans to come on down to the field. Our players will go to the halftime locker room right off the west end zone. And then what's fun about that is right after coach is done talking, they often come out relatively quickly. Yeah. And some of them will stay out for autographs. I'm not promising anyone that they're going to get their favorite player's autograph. But there is opportunity to interact a little bit with those guys, which is always cool. And it does present an opportunity to just kind of take a breath. And again, that park and ride is going to be really important because that's another great alternative. Hey, you don't have to worry about driving here. You don't have to worry about parking. That park and ride moves about 8,000 fans per game. It's a fun, it's a great little system. So I think, it's relatively inexpensive, $8. They can get that online. It's all digital. Yep. $10 on site. There'll be QR codes. But just know that we do have that park and ride option, and that's and then we also have what we call the duck pen. Mm-hmm. But if you want to bike to Autzen Stadium when the weather's great, we can get over 100 bikes in there, and at $5 a bike, it's relatively inexpensive. And so take advantage of these early season games when the weather's decent. It's another great opportunity. Also, I just got to promote the north side of campus. I mean, our students walk across that path on game day, and that's a great opportunity. If you're across the river, you're not going to be dealing with the chaos.
True. Well, and I will say, as somebody who made that traditional walk as a freshman, like there is something special about that.
There is.
I get it. You walk through the forest. I mean, that's what it's all about. Pressing pause on our conversation with Ben Clark, Assistant Athletics Director for Event Operations. Come back, a few more details on what to expect around a new-look Autzen complex. Keep it here as we go through Game Day at Autzen on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you inside the Country Financial Studio, where Ben Clark, Assistant Athletics Director for Event Operations, continues to join us. So some more logistics around a new-look Autzen complex, everything you need to know about game day at Autzen. We continue with Ben Clark. How about timing? Anything different this year with gates opening, Mashofsky Center, anything else fans should know on timing?
Yeah, so 6 hours out is when we open up our parking lots. That's also a lot when the neighbors open up. So BMX, Boy Scouts, Science Center, a lot of those folks are sold out. On the website, though, we do have contact information. I know BMX does sell day of.
Good.
But do know that we do close down Leo Harris Parkway, the middle part, for charter buses. And so please note that at about 7.5 hours pregame,
right,
that goes into a closed down mode. We will never open up the lots earlier than 7 a.m., but it'll always be 7 a.m. or 6 hours out. And then 3 hours pregame is when we open up the lower perimeter of Autzen Stadium. It also gives you an opportunity to go to the Mashofsky Center.
Right.
Get your ticket scanned at that time. You can partake with any activations that our friend OSP have going on, and with their corporate partners. And so all that stuff is going on about 3 hours out. And then at about 90 minutes out is when we open up the seating bowl. Students will be able to get in as early as 3, just because, we want to get them in, right?
Yes.
You're right about anything
that.
We can do to help with that flow,
You're right about that.
we will promote. And then account for a 3.5 hour. I always say about 4 hours just to be safe for the game, and then I say about 90 minutes post game is about the last bus. And hopefully this place is pretty quiet at that point.
And clear bag policy in effect.
Clear bag policy is in effect. That was, since 2018. The bike valet, if you forget for whatever reason, we do have signage out there, but the bike valet folks will accept that, and that's just across from the South Gate, right there by the new Science Center. They will accept non-clear bags in that space. So just know that. Again, $5 donation. But please, bring a clear bag, right? Bring one or just come accordingly.
And
right,
the clear bag policy hasn't changed much, really, in the last 7 years. So GoDucks.com/gameday. You can click on the clear bag policy if you're curious for more info. One thing that I wanted to mention, too, like you talked about having your ticket scanned and having it ahead of time, especially if you do arrive a little later. We know that when there's a lot of people, sometimes the cell signal isn't the same as it was when there's one person at Autzen Stadium. Download that ticket and parking pass ahead of time, especially with digital parking these days.
100%. Yeah, I went digital a couple years ago, and just being able to have that at home in your wallet, ready to go. Turn up your brightness then on your phone. It just helps with the scanning and all of that. We do have MiFis out there in the parking lot to help with connectivity, but it is really important to come prepared. That's going to help us with traffic flow when it comes to parking, so we're not backing up. We can get people in. We can get them rolling. And then, obviously, at the gates, if your ticket's queued up and ready to go, it's going to make that process a little bit more seamless.
One thing I wanted to mention, too, and they became, I think, more, I would say, plentiful last year, but more water stations. We talked about some of those early games, nicer weather, more water stations.
Yeah, about a half dozen additional water stations were added for the Boise State game last year. For Idaho, we opened the season in August, much like we are here for Montana State, and we had weather right around 90, and we just had a lot of medical calls. A lot of folks got dehydrated, and so we have 2 kind of cooling shade tents on the north end of the stadium. We've actually new this year, but we've got a little bit of a triage center that we've set up in kind of the what would be the southeast corner of the Mashofsky Center, just in case if we have our first aid rooms get overran, which happened last year. So we've added these additional water stations, which should help. That is going to go online. I'm working with Jason Harris on our team.
Sweet.
On getting an updated map and some of that information out. But I think the key behind all of that is hydrate properly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I'm with you. Hydration.
Get out there in the
We
sun.
always say, especially around athletics, championship level hydration.
Right. Exactly.
True for the fan base also. Championship level hydration. GoDucks.com/gameday, especially next week. Totally updated. You're going to have maps, parking. It is a little bit of a different footprint, so just be aware. If you haven't been around Autzen, you haven't seen the construction in a while, a lot going on. Okay, we covered clear bag, parking. What did we miss? Anything else?
No,
man?
I mean, the bus lanes was a big issue last year, so I do want to reiterate. You'll see signs, but no, those bus lanes on Saturdays, they are good for regular vehicles. So please use them.
Yeah, use the bus lanes.
It's essential.
I know.
It's essential.
And I will say, I noticed, at least thanks to your team, like signage throughout the season was way improved, right, as the season went on. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that is a fair assessment. We definitely made some adjustments. And then going into the season, we have added some wayfinding signage in and around Autzen Stadium. It's just make it a little bit easier on our fans of, hey, where's the Mashofsky Center? Where's the Duck Store? So you'll start to see some signs on some of our perimeter light poles that should help guide fans to where they need to go.
And then just a quick plug for the show tomorrow. If you're wondering about, finding certain food options around Autzen Stadium, John Sargent's going to be on the show tomorrow talking concessions. Everybody loves food.
Everybody loves food.
Everybody loves food.
Yes.
Ben Clark, the Assistant Athletics Director for Event Operations. Ben, thank you. I hope that it is a peaceful Saturday at Autzen for you and your team.
I appreciate that. Go Ducks.
Go Ducks. Thanks, Ben.
You bet.
Ben Clark, the Assistant Athletics Director for Event Operations. So now that's a lot of the logistics and what you need to know before coming to Autzen. Now, how about once you're at Autzen? We continue on what to know for a game day at Autzen Stadium with Brooke Robinson, Assistant Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Experience. We already talked about the operation getting to the stadium. Now how about once you're in the stadium? What's going to be happening this year? Brooke Robinson is our guest, Assistant Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Experience. Brooke's been on the show a couple times, and I just want to say, as the head atmosphere engineer, has that title started to spread? Is that still just at Oregon, or are we spreading that title across the country?
We can start the movement here, much like we do in a lot of aspects.
That's right. That's right. Shout out to Mathis, right, for
yes,
atmosphere
Mathis
engineer.
Brewington.
That's what y'all are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so remind fans, though, like on a game day, what's the build-up to what everyone sees when they come into Autzen Stadium, they sit down in their seat? What's the build-up for you and your team that leads to a game day?
Starts a year out when we get that schedule. We're kind of identifying days, or, do you have a game around Veterans Day? Do you have games around, important dates in our community? What are we identifying as homecoming? Is one of these games going to get shifted to a Friday, since that's part of our conference now? So it starts a year out with that. We kind of identify placeholders of things. And then, we start on the ticketing process of all of that. So a big part of that is Jason Harris. And he and I work together on a lot of that strategy. I'm a big believer in trying to accentuate big games, of course, but additionally, like trying to put bigger promotions on what people might see as a down game or one that they might have been less interested in. So we try to pair those two things together where it balances out at. And then once we lock those in, then I start on all the details and all the color it fills in. So basically you're building the coloring book, and then we actually get to start working on all the things that bring it to life. Throughout the summer, all of that, I was thankfully I had enough time to get a week away from here and go do a couple bucket list events. But really working on kind of what those look like, and whether we have a chance to do a theme or a cause, or annual things we're trying to do like the stripe out, and put those things together. We work with Kenny and kind of that game script there, so that kind of balances out. We took some of our fan feedback from last year. A lot of people were really proud to want to wear our green on the road, so we factored that into the away schedule this year. And so all those things kind of come to life, and then we start filling in all the little details of all of our sponsorship activation elements and all of those things, how we can celebrate our 8-team Big Ten championships from this past year.
That's right.
But again, back to our roots of how can we find ways to celebrate Oregon and factor that into our 7-game home schedule.
Well, and to that point, like there are those elements that happen, at most games or at every game. But then I wanted to ask you just about the, in a lot of ways, creative process that comes though in game. Because I, like, as someone who is, look, I just say what's happening on the field, right? And we talk about like being an atmosphere engineer. Like, you're helping that fan experience with what happens on the video board, what music you're playing. There's a lot of different elements. And I was hoping maybe you could take us behind the scenes of like something like Baby Duck. So, reminder, everybody, that was not planned, right? Like that just happened. That was kind of an organic, for lack of a better phrase, thing that happened. Tell fans about that. How does that all happen?
So, I've got my game script going into game day, and, there will be things we identify, whether it's a sponsored fan cam or things like that. So I spend a lot of time, me and my binoculars, spend a lot of time pregame on identifying fans that come in early, and I'm like, okay, let's bookmark this person for later. I think they could be something. We went into the Washington game day, and it was the closest game we were going to have, November 30th. It was the closest game we were going to have to the holidays. And so I start kind of IDing people. We saw someone in an elf costume with a big O on the back, so cool. And we see somebody in a Grinch costume, and we're like, okay, write that down for later, like who that might be. We could factor them into this fan cam or something else later. And so we get into those moments, and as we're punching around between those two to kind of build up the audience reaction there, we come across this section as a filler, and this family raises this baby up, and the crowd reaction to that is crazy. What people don't or may not remember is that we went to them, that was 3 or 4 times. By the time we get to the fourth quarter, and we're, the score's helping us in our favor there, that our fans are a little loose at that point, that, once we go back to them, we decide to go just punch back and forth between Washington's band and them, or even our fans. Going back to our fans, they don't want to see that. They want to see the baby, and to go back to that. And just to hear that family story since then, to go to the Big Ten Championship and the Rose Bowl, it's just been really special. So just so you know, there is no canoodling you need to do to get on the video board. It is truly, it just kind of comes organic. And so we can have a plan as much as a plan can happen, as much as I'm sure as a coach does, but there are things that happen that you have to take advantage of.
No doubt about that. Brooke Robinson, Assistant Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Experience. Time out. When we come back, more from Brooke, including the behind the scenes of some tie-dye activations. Tell you about that next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear that? The crowd's going wild for all the end of summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event. Going now until September 2nd. Woo-hoo!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hear that? The crowd's going wild for all the end of summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event. Going now until September 2nd. Woo-hoo!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Continuing our chat with Assistant Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Experience, Brooke Robinson. As someone who plans but then wants those organic moments, how do you balance that in that creative process?
I try not to make my script too tight and rigid. I know the breaks I'm going to have from TV and those durations, things like that. I try to leave some open time on the back end because people, they spend their hard-earned money and they look forward to this all year to come to a football game. And, whether it's their first time or their 200th time, I want this to be a really special day for them. So people love good music, whether it's from our band or our DJ, and they want to see themselves on the video board. So I want to allow time for that. And so every game we allow for that. We had the shirtless dad dance off at the Idaho game last year. I mean, it's something, the nature of my job that's so fun is that I can script as much as possible, but organic things happen and you have to be comfortable enough to lean into it within reason.
Brooke Robinson joining us, the head atmosphere engineer, marketing and fan experience assistant athletic director. You mentioned the stripe out, for example. Like those are things that we plan ahead and then we want fans to know about it, right? So the stripe out, how many great pictures will we get from the stripe out?
Oh my gosh, we've had some really great ones, and we've really leaned into that as our first couple of games are usually before school begins here. And so our community, a lot of them get to go to a game maybe for the first time. And so we took advantage of that, and we're trying to make the home opener be the stripe out game because we can do other things for other big games, right? So Jason and I worked together on building maps out and things like that. This year we decided to flip the sections because we've done the same one a couple times now. So we decided to flip those, give people a chance to wear the other color and really build that out. So really looking forward to kind of seeing that come to life again. And Ian McFarland's team does a great job of capturing all of that, whether from above or from down on the field, and it looks really cool.
Or even for Ian, just so everybody has an idea, Ian in charge of creative and digital, like he just whips this up, those of you that are watching the show to give you a visualization of what it's going to look like and which section that you're going to be in. So stripe out Autzen Stadium on the 30th, the opener here coming up against Montana State. I want to ask you too, like the color schedule. Fans, that's maybe the question that I get the most heading into the season is like, what's the color schedule? This year, color schedule was done ahead of time, and I got asked this by a couple people. How do you decide on the color schedule? What factors in to the color schedule?
So, contrary to popular belief, I do not just pick it myself. Kenny Farr is far more important than I am. Yeah, thank you. So he works with kind of that leadership team on the team, and they look at the whole script of uniforms. I am not of that kind of privilege to see that. But they kind of pick out, whether they've got an energy moment or they really want to wear this specific uniform against this opponent or things like that. So we'll base it on that. I gave them a heads up front that Jason and I want to keep the stripe out for the first game. And so they usually play into that. And then, as well on the road, our fans wanted to wear green as much as we might change that out on the road. So we reflect that and pass that into it. But we also wanted to, we want to give the opportunity to wear yellow at home because that's a really special one for us that I feel like not a lot of people get to do our yellow or really even our green. Right. So to factor those into it, to do a stripe out, to do darker colors when it's colder because it's easier for our fans, right. And, trying to factor all those things into it of, not just this, not too much of this, and balance that all out. So.
And then you get a cool celebration moment where we say, hey, stay tuned on this one for the Wisconsin game. And then we find out we're going to do a celebration with the Grateful Dead, and there's so much history at Autzen Stadium. You're a huge music person. Like, Was this just a big intersection of moments for you?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so rare that it's like, okay, I get to do something of like a band I love, and a music themed promotion at football of all places. You know, I mean, nationally, like no one really gets to do that. It feels like, you know, as much as the NHL or NFL might get to do that, you know, it hasn't been a huge part of college football. We just have so much other things to celebrate. But as much as I've gotten to know Oregon, you know, that really, I want to celebrate our culture as a state and as a community in Eugene. And this is really aligned in a lot of different places in a community that really loves live music here. And to have that history too at Autzen and at Matt Court and the EMU, I mean, too many things came together, and really a lot of people have been working on this for a very long time. So to be able to announce that celebration was really special, and to see so many people very excited about it, or maybe you know, has a lot of opinions in a lot of different ways, but it definitely made a ripple of noise with that announcement that I think people are going to get excited about.
I can't say that I've ever seen wear tie-dye on a color schedule before, right? Like that only at Oregon.
Yeah, we're the first to do things, right? And if we're, you know, we're going to be the ones to take that step. I think a lot of the feedback that I saw online was like, well, it makes sense, and it does. So that's going to be really cool. We're very much looking excited. More to come there, but to line that to that announcement right before their 60th weekend was really cool.
And you know, imitation is the best form of flattery, and that's happening, right, across the country, which has got to be cool for you and your team.
Yeah, I think there was kind of the perception that a lot of the new Big Ten schools would have to catch up in the Big Ten in some capacities. And especially, you know, that we were seen as this smaller stadium in the Big Ten. We're fortunate to have some of the big ones, of course, in this conference. And, you know, we were going to do what we were going to do and what we do best and what our fans love. And we're going to have a good time. Like, of all things else, like, I do not have an outcome I do not have an effect on the outcome of the game. And I just want, I'm going to emphasize where I can, but
I will just say though, that the engagement with fans and, you know, all the things we've talked about that can organically happen, like that is part of the student athlete experience. If you're feeling good, you play good. You know, I think that it has an impact as an atmosphere engineer, right? Like it's got to.
Yeah. And it's been cool to see there were a lot of new people that came to our stadium for the first time last year. And a lot of them left that experience replicating that at their own stadiums. I will say that. And just to see that effect, I was like, wow, first of all, our whole teams of everyone in production and our team and everyone, we're all doing something right? If everybody's leaving here like, I want to do that, and ADs are leaving here like, I want that to be us. So in a lot of ways, our fans should be very, very proud of the atmosphere that they've helped sustain and create, and I'm excited to continue that this year.
How does one pick a sing-o-long song?
So again, contrary to popular belief, this is not me picking, you know, just what I want to hear. There's a lot of things that go into it. Obviously, lyrics have to be appropriate and in a certain capacity, and I want it to be something that's going to be widely known. I take advantage, especially those games before students. I want to leave the songs that they really like, love and get into, and could be an energy moment later in the game. I want to leave those for when they're back here on campus, but especially up front, I'm like, okay, what can we dig into that people love, not too overdone, and really create something special. So, or, you know, sometimes I just text Joey and I say, hey, which one of these two?
Yeah. And the truth is that Brooke is a far more informed music savant and DJ than I am, but it's nice just to have at least one little bit of input sometimes. So thanks for that.
Not that I always go with what you say, but
she never does. She literally never has.
Okay. I think I like the first one.
There you go. Are we going to tell people or no?
No.
Sorry.
Everything's got to be the surprise.
Got to be part of the experience.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Everything that we've talked about, too, I want to hit it again. GoDucks.com/gameday. GoDucks.com/gameday. All the info that you could want for what happens at Autzen Stadium, where you can find things, shuttles, clear bag policy, food, beer, and wine sales, and anything else, including ticket information. We'll talk more about that coming up. And your full game day timeline is always available on GoDucks.com/gameday. Nice website.
Shout out Nate Kruger.
Shout out Nate Kruger. What else should fans know? What do you want fans to know coming to Autzen Stadium, partaking in a party atmosphere?
Yeah. I mean, I've said it the first time I was on here, and I'll continue to say that. Be an active participant in your own experience. Let's continue. We set a lot of standards last year, whether it's in our own game day, but across the country and especially our conference. And I want to keep sustaining that. So let's give our team the home field advantage that they deserve. Let's have a great time, especially, and go Ducks.
Brooke Robinson, Assistant Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Experience. Brooke, thanks for being here.
Always.
Appreciate your time. It was great. I mean it. Like, what happens throughout a game, Brooke, her team, engaging with fans, that does impact what happens on the field. That is part of a home field advantage at Autzen Stadium. Timeout. When we come back, tickets. What do you need to know about tickets as we continue to chat about game day at Autzen Stadium? Jason Harris is with us after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, so good to see you real.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack. He is Jason Harris, Associate Athletic Director for Ticket Revenue. Tickets. How are you?
It's great. I mean, track just ended, and we're right back in. We got a concert this week. I mean,
That's right.
We ticket a lot of things, but
Well,
it's great.
you know, maybe we should start there. Like, zoom out. You know, game day at Autzen. We're going to talk about tickets, what you need to know, some tips and tricks for tickets. But y'all do ticket a lot of events. I mean, there are a lot of tickets that move through your office.
A lot of tickets. If it's in Hayward, if it's in Methuen Arena, if it's in Autzen, Pape, PK, all of those are ticketed by our staff. And we have some great managers on our staff and they have a specialty. But we have a lot. We had a lot of track this year. So Jeffrey Stewart on our staff took a well-needed week after that last event that we had a couple weeks ago. And then, you know, we have a Billy Strings concert in the arena, and Matt Calhoun, our staff, will be there this weekend. And so it's going to be a great sold-out show. But it's a lot, and we ticket. You know, not as many things because we're obviously a small universe, but number of things that we ticket is probably up there in the country because of the concerts that we host. So it kind of adds a different layer.
So one time before, when Jason was on the show, I asked him about like the history of tickets. And truthfully, I mean, a lot of things with technology have changed a lot, I would say, in the last, 20, 30 years roughly. But, your industry in particular, like the digital ticket has become such a big part of it. How much has that changed what you all do all the time?
It's a lifesaver. It saved us on staffing. I mean, if you look at it now, whether it's a boarding pass when you're flying, insurance cards, so many things could be within your digital wallet. It makes it easy and convenient to have, and it's we used to have someone every day that have to print out tickets and mail them, and we have to rip them apart, make sure we got everyone's together, put them in the mail them out. A week before a game, we had to then print them out and get them ready for will call because we couldn't mail them out. And now all these customers don't have to come to will call. They don't have to worry if they get lost in the mail. We don't have to worry about someone's tickets getting stolen in the mail. All of these things just make it a lot easier, and it makes it easier if you can't go to game to transfer it to somebody else or reselling it if you bought it and you don't want to give it away and you want to resell it. All of these things kind of make it easier, and we can obviously track it until we could, if we need to troubleshoot it, we can troubleshoot it and text it out. So it's been a lot easier for us and the staff on game days, and I think the fans in general. I know for us, we had a lot of feedback, and it was tough for that initial transition. But I think if looking at it now, most fans wouldn't want to go back to having the paper ticket because it just you don't have to worry about forgetting them at home. You don't have to worry about if they get wet during if it unfortunately rains outside
of Autzen
because it doesn't rain inside. So
that's right.
Yep,
that's right. Jason Harris joining us. Okay. I think the number one piece of advice that I have given to my friends and family that come to any event of any kind, download the ticket to the wallet ahead of time. Is that still the case?
That's number one. I mean, I think and we'll send out text message, we'll send out emails, next week, if anyone has a ticket for the Montana State game, is go and download the GoDucks Game Day app. And you'll click on the ticket icon, sign in with your email address, and you'll be able to view your tickets, and you can add them to your phone's wallet. So once you have them saved them there, you really don't even need connectivity to get in the venue. It kind of just has them synced up in there, and that's the number one. And it's really fans if they wait to pull those up for the parking pass, getting in the Autzen lot, or going inside the stadium. If you're waiting till that inside that 45-minute window, it's congested, and so it's hard to either get connectivity, and then it's hard to pull them up, and so it just slows that process for you to get in. And so having them downloaded is just a peace of mind. You're ready to go, and you can just pull them up, tap and go, or you can pull up the barcode and they can scan it. It just makes the progression that much easier to get inside the gate.
And you alluded to it, but ditto for parking passes. The digital ticket revolution has now this is the third year of digital parking passes.
Digital parking, which is I think it's made it even this time. I mean, there was a time that my step count went up dramatically on game days of I had to get a parking pass, but will call is on one side of Autzen, but you need the pass before you could get to will call, and we didn't have to, so every once in a while I'd have to literally sprint across and give to someone to Martin Luther King and then get back to the box office. So it's made it easier on that side. And again, I think it's just we've had I'm sick. You can just transfer it to somebody else, and they can use your parking pass. Great, and so it makes it a lot easier on the customer having the power over their tickets on that side as well.
One thing I will say too, I know one of those feedback points has been about connectivity, but y'all have some MiFis and some hotspots available at the ticket offices.
We do. So game days, we got 2 box offices. If anyone has an issue, we have one on the north side of Autzen on Martin Luther King. By PK Park, and then we have one on the south side of Autzen, kind of by the dog park, the footbridge side. There's actually now a open Wi-Fi, so you don't even need, if you come by any box office, if you're having an issue downloading, you can go down. It's open. You can just download the app. If you didn't download the app, you can download your tickets. Wi-Fi is open at either location, so you can get your tickets, download them, and then walk to either gate and enter. So a great new addition. Worked with IT staff late last year to get those enabled as well for fans this year.
How many tickets are left from Montana State?
Not a lot. We've I would say 500-ish maybe, which isn't a ton. I mean, I think we're the average spikes up before each game naturally, and so we definitely had a lot more tickets for this game than we do for the other games, the first 3 games this year, because it's before school begins for the students since we're in the quarter system. But had some great pushes, some great one of them Cheer with the Ducks with Dana Lockett and her team. There are going to be a lot of young kiddos out there dancing, which will be great, and so we've had a great response from that. Some other community organizations, U of faculty and staff had a promotion to get tickets. So really great for these games to be able to get fans in the venues because of the price point, because of the availability, that aren't able to for some of those bigger games that come out in the Big Ten schedule.
Jason Harris joining us, talking tickets. So zoom out for us. I mean, overall, season tickets, we've talked about on this show a lot about the value of season tickets. You talk about the return on investment. Well, sometimes you're going to pay for an entire package of season tickets, and there may end up being a game on the schedule that costs more just to go to the one game than it does to have season tickets for an entire season.
Yep.
Give us the breakdown. Like, this is your world. I'm just regurgitating what you're always thinking about with these things. Give fans that info.
No, I mean, season ticket for us, we've been very fortunate, of the fan support we've had for our fans, and now that we're, within the Big Ten and new fans and new teams coming in. Last year, obviously, Ohio State, I've been fortunate to be here for a while and seen some of the bigger games we have, whether it's Michigan, whether it's Tennessee. This game, I think Nebraska in 2017 was one of our bigger games we've had before. But obviously, Ohio State last year was one of the biggest games in college football last year overall. The Ohio State fans were coming up. The price of tickets was huge. We didn't go on sale to the public, and so it drove value for having a season ticket. Even during our pre-sale, we specifically held some tickets to try and have season ticket holders get additional tickets, and those prices were high. But again, on the secondary, they were going for 3 and 4 times as much. Even this year, we don't have, right now, a circled marquee game as big as potentially the Ohio State game. The season could play out, but Wisconsin's a huge one for us right now, and so season tickets, are priced and very affordable. Single game tickets, we had a pre-sale for season ticket holders, and the price is here. But because of the demand, when they went on sale to the public, the price, on our side, it reflects the demand and the inventory, and the price went up higher. So season tickets not only get a price break on tickets for a season ticket, during that pre-sale, they also got a savings with the pre-sale, and they go and sell the public, and they kind of go up a little bit more. So it's multiple layers of savings. Little on the tickets, we have season ticket holders are able to get a concession card, so they can buy a season concession card and save money on that, so they can save money on food and beverages throughout the course of a season as well. So it's multiple layers from getting the season ticket initially to additional tickets for friends or family, up to being in the venue and getting food throughout the season as well.
More on concessions tomorrow. Come back for John Sargent joining us on the program. Jason Harris, our ticket expert, as we continue. The Associate Athletic Director of Getting Butts in Seats. That's the official title.
That's the name. But, if there's fans in the stands, I'm happy. And
That's
for
right.
the most part, I'm happy, but there's always more fans that can get in here, and more new Duck fans we can get in here, the better, because I think, again, being in venue is such a unique experience, and especially football. We only have 7 days out of a 365-day calendar, and so to experience it, and even for me, the buzz on that Friday around the Cavs, being here early on Saturday is exciting, and then just seeing how happy people are. It's drawing people together with the tailgating in the stands. Afterwards, even though traffic can be a little tough, but seeing them tailgate and relax afterwards, and then even for me, after a win on Sunday, going to a grocery store, it's really fun just seeing how electric the city gets, but seeing what it is being here with the Duck fans. Again, watching it at home is one aspect, but being here and seeing it and high-fiving and the Duck entrance, and then you get the Harley, and then you get, the push. There's so many things that make it so euphoric.
Yeah. Now you got me thinking I'm ready, right? Now we're at the build-up. Okay, we've only got about 45 seconds left. Anything that we missed? What else do you want fans to know on the ticket front?
No, I think goducks.com/gameday is going to be our landing page. Just got redone. Nate and sports media department got that redone for us, and it looks great. Has everything you'll need, whether you're watching in Eugene, whether you're coming to a game, whether you're watching from afar. It's got the TV network, it's got links, it's going to have rosters. So GoDucks/gameday will have everything you need updated throughout the season this year. Feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions with regards to tickets. You can send us an email. We monitor it before a game. We monitor it during. We have 2 box offices open outside, and if you're inside the game and have an issue, underneath each scoreboard, we have guest services, and we'll be happy to help you before halftime.
Awesome. Jason Harris, Associate Athletic Director for Ticket Revenue. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, everyone. Have a great season. Go Ducks.
Appreciate the time. When we come back, wrapping it up, everything you need to know about a game day at Autzen on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot fast and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's like Go Ducks information overload today. Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We're here in the Country Financial Studio. I want to say thanks to Ben Clark, thanks to Brooke Robinson, thanks to Jason Harris for joining us today. Tomorrow, our Director of Food and Beverage Services, the Head of Hangar Management, John Sargent's going to join us. Some $5 duck deals for concessions around Autzen Stadium. You heard Jason mention for season ticket holders that concessions card makes things a little easier to honestly budget out for the season. How much do I want to spend on concessions when I come down to Autzen Stadium, come out to Autzen Stadium? And then Jerry and Jorgie are going to join us as well to sample some of the new concession items around. And I'm told that the giant football basket is making a return. But more details with Sarge tomorrow. He'll tell you what you need to know about concessions. Look, part of why I asked these three today and then John Sargent tomorrow is, you know, there's so much information, there's so many specific questions, and I thought, you know, let's just do one episode today that's all about a game day at Autzen. What do you need to know? Anything that's changed? There's minor changes. Hopefully it's all about a better fan experience, because I mean that sincerely. Always taking feedback. That's what we're after. Student-athlete experience, fan experience. Concessions Friday tomorrow. See ya.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about